Yeah. So
Dude,
anyway,
are we going to talk about Andrew Tate? This story is fascinating to me.
Is it? Because I'd never heard of this guy until like 4 days ago, and I feel like I'm really glad I jumped on the bandwagon now because it's gotten funny quick.
Yeah.
But is it real? Is the most recent development the arrest? Is it a real news story?
It's so new.
The human
it happened like 30 minutes before this podcast started. And here's what's up. So if people don't know who Andrew Tate is, he's this social media personality. He got huge on TikTok. Also big on YouTube and Instagram and stuff. Now he's banned from everything as far as I know. But he still has a huge presence online somehow. I see him on Reddit every day. He writes to Greta Thunberg. And I promise you this will get better. And out of the blue is like, I've got 33 cars, Bugattis, Ferraris, whatever. They all make carbon dioxide and, you're going to like it or not, whatever, right? He just, out of the blue, he picks a fight with
a terribly worded tweet.
Really weird.
There was like
thing to do.
No reason for it, etc.
And also, I have to say, factually, and I what I've learned about this guy is that he's not cool, but just on a strictly factual basis, because I am the car person, it is actually quite environmentally sound to buy 35 cars because you can only drive one at a time. So you're not inherently dirtier than someone who just buys, say, a single F-350 Super Duty and commutes to work in it.
See, that would be true.
He did call out their 8-liter and 6.5-liter motors and stuff. But anyway, so he picks a fight with Greta.
To do, but on a purely scientific level,
okay. So
are not making emissions.
I hear you. So Greta writes back, and she has a pretty good tweet. She's like, "Oh, tell me more about it. My email address is I have a small dick at getalife.com." Something close to that.
It's small dick energy at getalife.com, which is a very well worded tweet. I mean, it's pretty good. Point Thunberg.
I can't tell if she obliterated him in this or if this is my own bias and the internet's home court advantage that's saying hers is like way better.
I mean, they both look stupid.
The ratio ain't wrong. The ratio is pretty extraordinary on the Thunberg. I did see that.
Okay. Well, Tate claims
wins the ratio.
So give me the floor for a second. Andrew Tate makes this reply, which you're watching in his robe. And in it, he's saying Greta Thunberg has a small dick based on her email address. And he has these pizza boxes brought in. And you can see the Romanian pizza boxes. And being an asshole, he goes out of his way for some reason to be like, don't recycle those boxes, drawing attention to the pizza boxes. Anyway, the Romanian authorities see this and they're like, Andrew Tate's in Romania. We've been meaning to arrest this guy. And they've taken him. They pull him out and they say, we got you. And now he got thrown in jail for human trafficking. He would online sort of entice and seduce these women and say like make them think that there was a relationship possibility with Andrew Tate, this charming dude. And then when they got there, he would keep them locked into some apartment producing OnlyFans content, like against their will. These are the charges.
This is like an SVU episode, dude. This is like not real. Like, come on. Crazy.
And can you do it better?
Yeah.
So no, Andrew Tate says, hey, I wasn't thrown in jail for all this. I've been swatted. But and that's where I don't know where the truth is. It's all so current. The truth will come out tomorrow after the show or something. But yeah, apparently he's locked up for.
Was he on the lam, or was he in Romania because he like is a world hopper, like vacation guy?
I think that's where he primarily lives.
He's
Romania.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't
classy people.
Where's he from? Is he British?
Romania, I believe.
Oh, he's
okay. I was just going based on the accent.
My understanding was such. I'm not an expert or anything.
He's American and British. Okay.
Are there really women who said that they were like forcibly like held there against their will?
Yeah.
Like specifically to make OnlyFans? Because I know there's the one girl who I know that she said that she was brought there for sex and then held there, but there's like a live stream video of that girl in particular like going out to get everybody pizzas and stuff, like during the live stream, like popping out and going to the end of the driveway to get pizzas and stuff. Like his end of the story on that one was she was saying some stuff so that her boyfriend wouldn't be jealous that she had flown to Romania with Andrew Tate.
So let me read this for a second. The brothers are accused
at least call this an unforced error. So at a minimum, let's just call this a fully unforced error.
So this is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
The brothers. Is my mic on? The brothers are accused of luring women to lavish villas using what Dicott called the lover boy method, in which they struck up a relationship over social media before convincing the women to come to Romania to pursue a romantic relationship. Instead, they would allegedly keep the women in a small studio where they're forced to work as pornographic models for OnlyFans and other websites. The scheme unraveled when an American woman managed to send her location to her boyfriend. They alerted the U.S. Embassy that they were being held at the home without their consent. The cops raided the home, yada, yada, yada. So
I don't believe this. See, this. I don't believe this. Because his side of the story is, of course, that, like, I had 6 girlfriends. I told them all, listen, you're going to go on I'm going to sleep with all of you. You're going to go on OnlyFans. You're going to make money, and I'm going to take part of it, and I'm going to keep you organized. He's like, 4 of them left, of course. like he told
4 left, like, 1 was down, 1 called the cops.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, right. Maybe
1 for 6.
But look, the idea.
Bro, 17% success ratio.
Yeah,
it's a numbers game. It always has been.
You just got to find more.
You're describing a dungeon, right? With like padlocked doors and like cameras in rooms and like guards, I guess, with weaponry and like I don't know. I guess you got to have like doctors coming in for these women. Like how long are they held? Months and years? Like I need some details because I bet what it was that girl who didn't want her boyfriend mad at her.
I don't know.
Andrew Tate's okay.
I'll play devil's advocate.
Greta Thunberg is like she never says anything witty.
Thunberg.
Like her thing isn't being witty. Her thing's being like outraged and oddly looking.
Yeah,
that weird little Down syndrome face of hers.
I mean, like
she's an adult now. I can say what I want.
It's a pretty unforced error that like
they make Down syndrome.
It's not like
dolls.
someone hacked this dude's fucking Twitter and picked a fight with this girl. Like he picked a fight with this girl.
Oh yeah,
he didn't need to fucking pick.
Yeah,
and then
if it wasn't for the pizza boxes, they wouldn't have known he was in Romania.
That's what I'm saying.
Their little Twitter.
How did he get? I'm Twitter
spat
about that
quick.
too, Woody. Because like, how does he get into a country without them knowing? Right? Like, you know what I mean?
They know.
I do know what you mean.
In Europe, you could drive across.
So what I'm guessing, what it sounds like to me is there's a
million borders in Europe. No one knows anything.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair, but I think he flies around a lot. I know one of the things that he flexes is that when he flies to like Germany, he doesn't just fly; he flies his cars in too. But he won't just. He's like, but I'm going to need a car for my friend too. He's going to need a car. My brother, his car's there too. And look, once you're flying 3 cars, you got to get 5's like the same price roughly. So
there was some of the folks. Again, like I said, I've never fucking even heard of this guy until recently. Honestly, but some of my more educated Twitter people have said that the actual scam is that he is a tax related thing that he has the cars he brags about. There's no way he has enough money to legitimately afford the cars, and there's a financial element to this, and the human trafficking, and again, speculation. The human trafficking is some kind of a pretext to a financial related fraud crime.
I'm not buying.
Whatever.
I mean to say, I'm not understanding this part of it. Like, how does buying cars make you money in taxes or like that?
Well, no, it's not that it makes you money, but if you like, for instance, like he there was that original tweet showed a picture of a Bugatti Chiron, right?
Okay,
that's a $4 million car. Like you got to have a lot of money to buy something like that. And look, I've been an online personality influencer for a fucking long time. Like, you're not making that money doing that. You're just not. You're making it from
what if he had a dungeon full of women on OnlyFans?
So I know how he
finds
makes
it
his money.
hard.
What he has something called.
That's Bugatti money.
I think it's called like. Fuck! I wish I could get it right.
There was something I read called like Hustler University.
Hustler University. Thank you. Yes,
which I think may have been some type of fraud in the same way that Trump University may have been some type of fraud.
So what he does is
that was what I
So what he does is he has these like assistants that work for him and coach different classes in Hustler University. And these guys
exactly like Trump University.
They don't They don't have nearly the charisma he does, I'm told. But they go online and they tell you how to do like a drop shipping business or how to be a baller or just how to make money in different places. He teaches SEO and how to make money online. Zach says it's $50 a month. What I read was that's like where it begins. You know, it's $50 a month, and then you spend like $500 on this course or $1,500 on that course.
Sure.
And, you know, it can start to cost a lot more. But yeah, basically, he does Discord like hangouts.
That sounds like chump change, though, in the grand scheme of thing. I'm telling you, if you got that dungeon full of ladies working OnlyFans, like that's your bread and butter. Like you're talking about, we made $3,800 this week in the G Club, and we made $380,000 this week on those 3 whores who like flash their pussy online.
Yeah.
Like it would be a whole different scenario.
I didn't consider that. Yeah, for some reason, I just assumed Hustler University was the real moneymaker and not the 6 women in the room.
But
sometimes 6 women in a room make a lot of money.
6 women in a room make more money than a man can even fathom. You work your whole goddamn life, you can't make as much money as 6 women in a room in a week.
That's hilarious.
6 women in a room is like 12
talented,
parking garages.
You know how fucking talented you got to be to out earn 6 women in a room?
Yeah, there's really no way.
Doing. If they're typing, I don't have to have any fucking talent at all.
Secure your spot for just $49. Our price will increase to $147 after 170,000 members reached. Current number 168,000. Wow, that number verifiable, real, definitely not 100% made up. Wow, did you guys realize that Andrew Tate is running the most lucrative streaming service on earth? Did you know this? Wow, that's incredible. That seems like real.
Did you see it? Now look, I'm not.
There may be financial improprieties,
but he has this one baller tweet about how he doesn't want to be you. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
I don't really think anything about this guy is ball. Even like the tweet between him and Greta Thunberg. Neither one of the things they said. What he said was cringe. What she said was just low tier, not funny. It's just people who like Andrew Tate pretending that what he said was like owning Greta, and it's people who hate Andrew Tate pretending that Greta did something even vaguely funny. It's like, whoa, whoa, my goodness, like that, what a burn. It's like, don't be retarded. No,
I bet this was against anyone but
Andrew Tate.
I bet it's on clever comebacks on Reddit, like it was funny.
Yeah, I mean,
look, Reddit called clever comebacks.
Her joke's not that great,
clever comebacks.
It baited this guy into getting arrested. Like you have to understand. Like
that makes a strong point.
Even if her joke,
according to who,
joke kind of sucks, which it
according
does.
To everywhere, like CNN.
I mean,
look, let's
assume online, Kyle.
The pizza thing. If the pizza thing resulted in him getting arrested, then her tweet wins. Straight up.
They're saying,
as far as like
saying that he was arrested in connection with human trafficking charges.
Right, but if they didn't know where he was,
I'm looking at it on NBC, The Guardian, New York Post, The Daily Beast, Market Watch,
but they're saying
Rolling
human trafficking.
Yes,
that's what.
Human trafficking. Okay. He's long been running from that charge. Yeah, that he's associated with that.
Oh, it's like a Polanski. It's like that.
Yeah, but he doesn't make great movies.
Right. And you know something?
We need YouTube videos.
We need to give him credit where credit's due here. He said he's not going to recycle those pizza boxes. You're not supposed to recycle pizza boxes. I learned that today. Be doing that, and so thank you, Andrew. Going green. That's clearly why he did it. He didn't do it.
This is the second time he's been arrested for human trafficking. Taylor, can you read this tweet?
Yeah, it's because of the grease. You are poor. You are This is from Andrew Tate. You are poor. You are unimportant. Men do not fear you. Your woman disagrees with you. Your lives are shit. If I was forced to endure a year of your life, it would be the worst level of depression imaginable. This guy, I never watched his videos, so this guy's a fucking loser. I don't like him.
Yeah, this
guy is so bafflingly insecure. Like this guy has no confidence in himself.
Sounds to me
he
like
looks
your
at
woman
himself,
disagrees with you. I'm just saying.
I mean, he's a bitch. Come to Missouri. Like
your woman
he's a dumb
disagrees with
bitch,
you.
and I don't like
Mine
him.
are locked in a room on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
There.
And you know what? Like he's the level of insecure that if he saw a clip of someone as low tier as me, he's that much of a bitch. He might respond to it. That's how insecure he is.
Nah,
Some
he won't. He's in
retard
jail.
like me. Yeah. Respond to it when you get out of jail, dumbass. Like, no, this guy, he's insecure.
Yeah.
Like, do other people not get that read from him? When people talk about how many women they're fucking, how many cars they have, like, to a point, it's very embarrassing. It makes you seem lame.
I hear what you're saying. I want to go before Kyle. Can I? I'm sorry, Kyle. I see him, and I just because
why break the trend? I'll just
why break the
everyone
trend?
all show. I haven't been interrupting you, but I think he's playing a character. That's what I think he found
it's a very lucrative character,
and that's what I'm seeing. Like I'm not seeing an insecure guy. I think I'm seeing an actor.
That's definitely possible too. I think it's probably a fusion of the
possible.
two.
But even an actor, like
he's,
even as an actor, it's like you gotta have something in there because I mean, well, because it's his own name on it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like people would figure it out if it was totally bullshit. You know, like if it was totally an act.
Well, like all right. So for one thing, he's got a little bit of a thing to stand on. So whenever he's like, "I'll kick your ass," or "I'm tough," or "I'm this or that," people be like, "Oh, really?" Like, yes, I'm a multi-time world kickboxing champion.
In what? In the Teletubby League? In some made-up trash?
No.
I think every world kickboxing champion.
Don't real fighters like not
bait him into responding
like
to
that? Like really good fighters. Like I thought really good like kickboxing and MMA types are like not like that.
People are people, dude. They run the gamut, right? Like there's some MMA fighters who are like, I can't wait to go use this kung fu on a dumbass at a bar. I'm gonna fuck somebody up tonight. I'm gonna make a $250,000 Saturday night, but I'm gonna jab me a Mexican Saturday. Like they don't care. Like they're assholes everywhere.
What was the point you wanted to make earlier that I interrupted, Kyle? Do you remember?
Oh, it's gone now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not in the book. It's gone.
Yeah.
Is it in the book? You never know. Let's see what I got in here.
But I mean, what is that playing? Like wearing the robe and everything.
Log you've got. Look at that thing.
This is my memory journal.
Wait, the book got bigger. The book is bigger than last week.
Yeah, and more old timey.
That's fucking. That is like some national treasure book.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Kyle has upgraded books, and
wow,
that's where he keeps his racist theories.
And it's even got like this. It's got handmade paper.
Aged paper.
Wow.
Yeah.
Aged paper.
Very nice.
Wow.
You get that on
the corner of it damaged like that. Is that dog damage?
It might be. So I got a couple thoughts here. Really more of a joke than anything. I think I had something about how like I just write down little things that come to me. Woody, have you been keeping up with Andrew Tate's poetry?
I saw his, I look at myself with a full head of hair and I hardly recognize myself. Then I look into my eyes and there I am. You can't break me. Is this, I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah. And it's like, bro, you don't have a full head of hair.
Can we get an Andrew Tate picture, please, Zach?
Yeah, show us his
full head of
he
hair.
was bald by choice, and then he like goes like 3 days in captivity, and it looks like he's gotten like Bosley hair implant surgery before pictures done.
Well, so he's got thin hair, but he's also biracial, so it's kind of like kinky as well, which makes it, I don't know, it's very unique looking what he's got going on. He's been tweeting these poems, which I guess he like passes along notes, and then his boy tweets them out from the outside because he ain't got a phone in there.
Full
if he did
hair.
That's not.
I think they found.
Bro,
didn't they find that guy's passport in the rubble on 9/11?
That head looks a little better than the first picture. That's a funny. His chin's totally missing though. When he was the man,
This
right,
is your alpha male.
he
Sigma.
he did a pretty good job of representing himself, and he would win battles unless it was against Greta. But now that he can't defend himself, he just sort of launches a poem and can't reply. He is just getting beat up by the internet.
Well, if he gets out and gets vindicated, then things will go well for him. But I
don't know if he gets back on
this
top.
guy's never been my guy. I watched him and
Well,
like
good to know.
we'll see
I
anybody
could
who
not tell
dislikes
you
him
what this
doesn't
guy's
understand.
voice sounds like.
I did not even know this dude's
He
existence.
speaks like this. He tells
Until-
you like to get top shit.
Isn't he a Brit, yeah? He going
Is he a
around
Brit?
saying, I don't know, I'm pretty
No,
sure.
he's not a fucking Brit.
No, and he
He's
goes
Romanian.
around, he's saying, hey,
A real
bruv,
man.
hey, bruv, let me level with you. Women, right? Women be fucking tripping, bro. And women be like, you need to be a rich guy who's like secure in himself, you know? And the way you show your security is by buying lots and lots of cars and talking about it on social media. That's what secure people do.
He's not even from that continent.
That's what I imagine in my head.
Boy,
you know?
I started life as a lowly chimney sweep, I did. And now
Who is this person you're voicing?
I've never heard his voice, so I don't know. who he
Dick Van
sounds like.
Dyke, maybe.
My name is Andrew Tate. My name is Dick Andrew Tate Van Dyke.
So
I don't know, man. We got like 3 minutes left.
Yeah, Andrew Tate is getting beat up by the internet, and I'm kind of here for it. I get a kick out of the rise and fall of people.
Me too.
It's
It's a
sadistic.
Schadenfreude kind of thing, especially if I don't like that person for whatever. And I didn't even know of this dude until I think people started talking about him on Twitch, and I started seeing like Aiden Ross or whoever mention. He's was a big streamer on Twitch. Anyways, all this stuff. So he came out of nowhere, and then I suddenly see everybody on Twitter talking about it, and I'm like, okay, the power of what is it called, the Streisand effect?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like, hey, nobody give this guy attention. Oh, I didn't know about this guy. Who? But yeah, so
what he did
it
is really
kinda-
interesting, right? So however he made his money, he did, but how he came to fame as far as we're concerned,
sex
I think.
trafficking.
We'll
Is that
see.
what he got accused for?
He's accused of doing some sex trafficking, but in any case,
That's not where the money came from.
no,
that was a passion project.
Oh, good. Okay.
Damn it.
Kyle's trying to finish his thought.
Sorry.
lost it.
You were talking about how he came onto the scene, however he made his
He just
money.
went and did like tons of podcasts, and then those got chopped up. So what you've got to understand, regardless of what you think of Andrew Tate, everything you've probably ever seen of him, like all those videos of him saying outrageous things, are from like 10 podcasts filmed over the course of 1 or 2 months. And like I've seen the outtakes of those things. And what did he say? It was something crazy. It was like, if my son drove a Toyota, I'd fucking kill him. Or something like. She's like, really? You'd kill him? Well, maybe I wouldn't go that far. And like has a joke with her. Like what he's doing is he's trying to be like the Confucius says of ridiculosity and testosterone. And everybody's like, oh, this guy's a cult leader. And it's like, you're the one that's sharing his video, dude. Like, what are you, a cult member?
He is 60% of what he pretends to be, right? Like, he takes his actual feelings about dating and masculinity, hypes it up to something a little silly, but he's a half silly to start with.
Yeah.
And
we'll see if he's guilty of anything.
He made his money in 2 ways that we know of. One, he would do this like boyfriend scam where he'd bring girls into his place, convince them that, they were going to be in love forever, get them on OnlyFans, and just sort of played with their emotions and teasing until they're on OnlyFans making money on his behalf. 6 girls.
Top two.
And that, I guess, is sex trafficking or something. And to me, it just seems like manipulation. That's the shady part. The less shady part is he got people to sign up for Hustler University. So this is like a Discord server. And then he had, well, hang on. So he has like 6, 8, 12 people working for him, teaching classes on how to make money. And some of them are your typical internet, like, oh, to start dropship, do affiliate links on Amazon or whatever, and do SEO and make your site popular. And that's one thing. But some of them were stuff I hadn't heard of before, like learn Photoshop, get into making corporate logos. People pay $2,500 for work you can do in 3 hours. And I'm like, well, shit, that does seem like for someone who hustles and has a little talent and wants to learn a skill, like it is a viable sort of job someone could make. And he's just doing this like, hey, here are opportunities to make more than you do now. What are you doing now? You working at fucking 7-Eleven?
Tell them how many users that thing has and what they pay, though. That's key.
I forget the numbers, but it worked out to like millions per month.
Millions.
I'm an undergrad at Hustler
Call it
University.
a couple 100,000 users paying a couple $100 a piece.
He says 140. Zach says 140K, and I'm pretty sure it was $50 each.
Jesus
for
Christ!
140,000
farming
people.
the saddest people on the internet.
Yes,
just literally, it's so gross.
The hardworking, the ambitious.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing I admire about Andrew Tate, which is dangerous to admire anything about him. Like, you put that opportunity in front of like a Hutch or C-Nanners. Forget the scammy part, but just work super hard. You want to go on fucking 4 podcasts a day and like make 10 hours a day of content? Do you want to work nonstop and change your financial life? A lot of people are like, no, that's not what I'm all about. I'm all about work-life balance. Andrew Tate is like, fuck, yeah, I'll sleep less. I will work 18 hours a day every day.
I just feel like it's
so I can make this happen.
My ladies will sleep less. They will work 18 hours.
I just feel like
a day.
you're really ignoring the colossal elephant in the room here. Like,
yes.
Okay.
No, that's fair. But what he's doing is mean. It's shady. Even the happy customers on Hustler University are probably being lied to and scammed a little bit about the possibilities, right?
We love our. We got our money's worth.
Wait, Woody, I'm an undergrad at Hustler University, and you're telling me that my major in keeping it real isn't going to help anything?
Taylor, listen, I have a 4-year ITT Tech collegiate offer to send you. Full Sail University is waiting for you.
Yeah.
I'm a star in the Hustler University volleyball team.
Yeah.
Oh my
George Santos joke. But
anyway,
anyway,
a minor in street smarts.
But yeah, so he worked as much as a human can work. And that part of it is that, like, he did hustle.
Yeah. Lots of shitty people work so hard. Like, I would argue some of the shittiest.
I want to talk about Landmark, the Twitch streamer. This guy, I'm making this up. I don't know it to be true. I think he's earned enough to retire.
Yeah.
And he still works, 8 hours a day, every day. He's still out there grinding, even though he's not hurting for money anymore. And I admire that in some way. It's not me, right? I did it for a while. I guess I paid my dues, but I just like guys who work really hard. I think it's admirable. There's something admirable in that. And
you don't have to work yourself to death, though. There are other ways. There's not one true path, Like, grind set mentality is so awful in my mindset. It is like the antithesis to what I follow. And so, like, sure, it works for everyone. It's like weight loss, whatever you need to do to get yourself into a better position. But
you might be right. And I admit I might be wrong, right? So I'm open to that idea. I do think that when it's content creation, there's a bit of strike while the iron is hot. You don't have a 25-year window to pace yourself.
Right.
It's like my YouTube career, right? It's like, I always sort of thought, I've got 7 years to play YouTube. I'm not going to have a 35-year YouTube career. Look at the popular TV shows, whether they be Friends or How I Met Your Mother or whatever. They don't run that. They don't run a human's career. They're just
South Park. Checkmate.
I have a question. So you guys are you guys in the Manosphere? This like
more than I should be.
God, I feel like it's a soap opera, and I can't stop watching this garbage unfold. It's like red pill community, and they're like giving all this advice to incels or whoever, and it's just a train wreck, like from start to finish. I love
my
it. My
wife holds me responsible for the things I watch. I feel like I would like to offsource that blame to YouTube for keep giving it to me.
Next time, I mean, look, she's watching Deep Space Nine all day. Question her about what the Cardassians did to Captain Picard. Okay. Don't bring.
Okay.
All right. We want to talk shit. I mean, that's actually next generation. See if she even knows.
Mm-hmm. I like where you're going.
No, you should be able to watch. I didn't know what you meant by Manosphere. Is that what you said?
This would be like Andrew Tate. Things who I've talked about having on the show.
I caught up quick, but I didn't know it had like that it was referred to that way. started watching the YouTube shorts not too long ago because I find TikTok to be kind of weird and creepy, and sometimes there's some weird shit on TikTok I'm not into. But YouTube shorts seems to be a little bit more family friendly. I don't see anybody die on there. And but I get recommended a lot of that Manosphere stuff, and I guess it is the stuff that I watch, but it's not necessarily that I like it. I just find it entertaining.
Yeah.
You see the difference?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I find it entertaining when you drop a bomb on a Russian from 400 feet. I don't like it. I wouldn't want to do it. All right, I take it back. I do want to drop a bomb on the Russians. I would love to do that. God, I want to do it so bad. Remind me, I'm high off of our city.
Oh, the Manosphere, and perhaps responsibility for watching it.
Look, it's got an audience for a reason, right? There are a lot of dudes who are struggling for any number of reasons, and they need somebody that speaks to them, right? Because nobody else is. And these guys and girls are saying, hey, you got some problems, but it's not all you. I mean, look at this and that and the other. They're hypocrites, they're liars, and they're full of shit. And you just have a personality disorder. You can fix that. like that's often the deal. I don't know about. I see a lot of the women hating stuff, the actual misogyny, and that's a little bit much. But when I see women being called on their actual shit, like being treated like equal participants in the dating world, I like that.
I like it when they call out women who have super high expectations for what they want in a man, but don't deliver on their end. Right? You're short, you're fat, you've got like 4 kids from 4 different baby daddies, and you want yourself a multi-millionaire guy with 6-pack abs.
Yeah, girl, it doesn't make any sense.
Stop acting like you're all that. You know, you're not. Like it, and I like to see
Woody's gamer tags don't grow on trees, ladies.
I like to see him shot down a peg or two every once in a while, because I feel like they're doing the opposite. No one's good enough for them. They're always knocking the guys that are available, saying they're not good enough, and it's like, hey, who are you? Like, what do you bring to the table here? Like it, like I don't know. I'll do like a hypothetical single Woody. All right, so what you're asking is for me to buy your breakfast, lunch, dinner, put a roof over your head, and all the clothes you could ever want for the rest of your life until the day you die. And what do I get in return? You know, like you better bring some bomb ass companionship.
Are you funny? You're right. You do stand up or something, because that'd work. You do a little show every night, like I'm talking 4 to 6 minutes during dinner. That'd be worth something.
Just do a type 5, yeah.
If it's dinner and a show and you're the show, I'm cooking dinner. Good God. Look, some of that's Manosphere stuff sort of trends into or treads into the area of just absolute misogyny and just like some real like, I don't know, it reeks of insecurity sometimes. But then sometimes they're just quoting stats and being like, actually, the truth is things are like this, that, and the other. So it's hard to nail down. Obviously, I don't like the mean shit that's not true and is just cruelty for the sake of cruelty. Yeah. But I do like people being educated on both sides of the coin on something as important and like universal as dating and sex and love and all that.
There's
family.
This concept of the wall, right? I hear this a lot in the Manosphere. They talk
Build
about
it.
And what the wall is a woman who's hit 30, right? So she, all through her 20s, she's the most desirable thing around. She goes through her hoe phase or whatever. She gets any guy she wants because it's easy for a woman typically to get a guy who wants to have sex with her. Not easy to get a ring, but it's easy to get laid if you're a pretty girl. And then they hit 30 and they hit the wall. And then all the guys that she wouldn't have gotten with, now she wants to get with them. She's lowered her standards because she's on the other phase, and they're mean to her. That's the thing I don't like. I don't know what the cruelty comes from. Why are you dancing on the grave of this woman who hit the wall? Like, why? Like, don't be a dick about it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that, and honestly, I think it sets up a lot of guys to go after the types of women like these. You know, if they have a hoe phase or whatever, they go after these women just to get their numbers up. You know, like you have to sleep with as many women as you can because that's how you become a high value male. Like your value is intrinsically linked to.
That's not how you become a high value man. That's your reward for becoming a high value man.
Right, but your value is now tied. Your value is tied to how many women you can sleep with. Right, like that's the like.
That's how you keep score.
Women
but I don't
think
think
you are
horse before the carriage.
I'm kind of with Kyle on this, but yeah, Yeah, how you become a high value man is you 6'6", right? 6 foot, 6 inches, 6 digits. Those are then you're a high value guy, and you get all the girls. Is what I'm seeing on the Manosphere.
Oh, is that a hard and fast rule there?
6'6". I didn't either. Do you think I made that up on the spot? That doesn't come from here.
I think it's like if you were talking about your baseball player or your football player stats. Oh, he runs the 40 and this. He hits this many RBIs. He has this many goals scored. Like whatever stats. There are stats. You give 3 stats on a player, you're like Hall of Famer. So yeah, it's fair to say 666. Let's go.
Okay.
If I told you the guy was hitting 40 homers, 150 RBIs, and his on base percentage was like 500, you'd be like, holy fucking shit, sign him up.
Meanwhile, you can also look and you can see a guy,
you know what else?
In the 222 range. Not good.
That baseball player.
The guy who's 2 feet tall, 2 inches, and he has $10.
He could have 99.
That guy's not getting laid. See, that's
6 feet. What does this bitch want? A spider? So I think they're just playing a different game, because like if you have guys in their 20s that are looking to get laid, like some of the stuff really does work. You know, like if you're just take care of yourself, you know, eat right, exercise, have good hygiene. Like some people need to be told this, right?
Oh yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. And women look at this, and that's all fine. But the thing is, if you're trying to get a long-lasting relationship and you're trying to cultivate some sort of intimacy or vulnerability with a partner, like that stuff happens in a long-term relationship that only happens.
So many dudes smell. I found this out because obviously, like we go to like PAX and like all those conventions where the nerds go, and it just stink like the devil. Like anybody who's never been to these events, you think we're exaggerating? It smells like a farm. It's so disgusting.
Yeah, so it's like Axe body spray and BO.
So those people know, and it was kind of weird to me. I think only now I'm maybe coming to this realization about why women my whole life have been like, oh, you smell really good. Now maybe that's just a compliment that women pay men when like just to be nice, or when you're dating or whatever. But I think what it is like they've smelled so many stinky men. They'd be like, oh, what are you wearing? I'd be like, that's called soap. it's like
that's Irish Spring.
Blow your mind.
It's literally Irish Spring and deodorant. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, you must hang around with some stinky men that like Irish Spring and deodorant is like ooh la la. Like that's what it is. And we've met so many stinky dudes. When we meet fans, like I would say 40% of like people, that's too high. 25% of the people we meet, like who showed up to like come to see us, you know, this means they're a pretty serious fan. They smell, you know, they have an issue. They have a BO problem, and they are unaware of it because they've become accustomed to their own funk, right? Oh, I always catch it. There's some
25 smells so bad that feels like 40.
We were outside.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to like more.
That's also true. You were like the big draw, so people were talking to you. I was more just a friend of the YouTube guys who also has a channel.
That's Kyle and company.
You were invited because you were an all-star, just like everybody else, except for that one guy who like yelled at children.
Yeah, that was. I didn't like that.
Shoot my camera.
You liked it.
He's your friend, not mine.
He's your friend, not mine.
This is
He's my friend, not yours.
He's making content.
Absolutely.
I'm making content, or he was. That kid cried.
You know, it's all part of the process.
You know how many FPS Russia shirts I had to give him? That's not true.
And what we could all discuss it. I hate when
Getting
they take it away.
Banned is a really big deal. I was listening to Dr. Disrespect recently, and he said that people are like, hey, you're killing it. You're really doing well now. Even without Twitch, you're a thing. And he's on my Google News feed every day. I think what happens is like I can't stop myself from reading it, so it just feeds me more and more and more. And I am just every day reading about what Dr. Disrespect said the day before. And he said he lost, I'm going to get this number close, like 75 or 80% of his income now that he's not on Twitch. And that it's partly not being on Twitch because that was a profitable platform, but also, you know, he can't talk to anybody else. And I'm going to get the people wrong, but like he doesn't talk to EA or some clothing company or any sponsor he might want to work with. They want to know, why Twitch drop you? how toxic are you? Like, what don't we know about?
Well,
this
it's so
thing?
mysterious, is it not? It's like literally, I'm going to sound pathetic now, but as a person who like has always enjoyed Doc's content and who has always enjoyed Doc, and you know, like even if I disagreed with some of his bits, I still enjoyed them. Like he's a great content creator, and when that happened, I was always like, it's just pathetic that it's one of the biggest mysteries on YouTube to me.
It's not a mystery to him.
Happened.
He knows exactly why he got canceled. I say
I thought he was going through a process with them, weren't they? Like, wasn't he trying to take some action against them?
The clip I saw, and it was real current.
And I heard that he could stream with people now though on Twitch. Can he not?
I think I heard that too. The clip I saw and was really current was that he knows why he was canceled or deplatformed or whatever, and that's why he's suing. That was how he phrased it.
Okay.
So I guess
he
feels like it's unwarranted.
Well, we have to find out then. But then also, and I'm not going to say anything about him, but like just in general, like if you are going to be suing someone, you do want to make it seem like, and I'm going to make things up right now, by the way. You do want to make it seem like you're losing out on an amount of money because that's what you're going to do. And I'm going to completely make this up. And it's not my place to say it, but I'm going to say it. But I'm also saying that I'm making it up, so it's fine. Like the girl who hurt her back, who was a porn star. The Twitch streamer that hurt her back.
Right.
You remember that? She jumped into the foam pit.
Oh, yeah.
She had tweeted, like I'm finally walking a little bit. It's going to take time until I'm walking normally. I guess I won't be squirting anymore. And yeah. And now this is all brief and I made it up, but I was like, okay, like maybe she doesn't do porn, or maybe she would go back to doing porn, you know, but maybe she was never going to go do it. But if she's going to go after Twitch, you want to kind of be like, my bread and butter was also squirting. Like, here's how much money I made squirting. And if I ever had a comeback, like that's not a thing I could do anymore now because of this foam pit. And I'm making it up. And I'm not a lawyer and I'm not anything at all, but I'm just saying, like, it would make sense that he's like, I lost 70% of my income.
Damages.
And that's what you go and you kind of do that. And then you make the number and you do that so that you can make that move.
I have a related story and I agree with what you're saying. So
I made it up though.
After we had my daughter, Hope, she was delivered via C-section. And what you do is you sew up, I'm not a doctor, but you sew up the insides, then you sew up the skin and you call it good, right? Now the woman's ready to have another kid in a few weeks. They didn't do that right. They just sewed up the skin and they didn't sew up her uterus or something like that. So that's why our kids are 4 years apart. She was infertile in between that period of time. So we didn't know why we couldn't conceive. Like the people were like, how long did it take you to have your first kid? And we're like, 45 minutes. But that was a lie. It took like 5 to make the first.
Marty was getting there.
But the second kid, like years and years were going by. And it's like, I don't know what's up with this. Like we both seemed so fertile the first time around and not the next time. Like the first time we had shit working against us, like coming off birth control and shit. So, we went to a fertility clinic to get some help, and we were shooting Jackie filled with drugs, making her release, like I'm making up numbers, 9-10 eggs at a time, and she would think she was pregnant and then wasn't. And we're like, what the hell's going on here? Like, girls kind of just know when they're pregnant sometimes, sensitive nipples or whatever, and no babies are coming. She's still having her regular cycle. So eventually they like inflate her vagina and they're like, the fuck, this thing's not watertight. It's supposed to be when we fill you when we treat you like
they go, the fuck,
when we treat you like a water balloon,
so there's a leak
full, but there's a leak in this thing,
which indicates the muscles are damaged or something.
Whatever. They didn't sew her back up. The hole that the baby came out of still there to some extent. So what was happening is she was getting pregnant, but it like wasn't able to attach and grow like
that's
the baby
crazy
should. Yeah. So we contact attorneys and we're like, the fuck, you can't just not sew people up after a C-section like that. Yeah, the skin's good. It looks okay from the outside. You're good to roll. And tying into what Harley was saying, the damages were severe. When you think about losing your ability to make a baby, Kyle doesn't value it too highly, but people do. It's right there with losing an arm or a leg or pooping out your butt. Making a baby is a thing that like has real damages to it. It's a problem. So the quality of attorney that you can get is tied into how big your damages are. If you get into a car accident and you claim your neck hurts, but it really doesn't, you get a shitty attorney who will chase his percentage of a $10,000 settlement. If you lose a life or fertility or like 2 legs or something like that, then you get a top flight attorney. Then you get like, one of the top guys in the field, and they pursue these multi-million-dollar cases and try to
the rest of your life has been affected. Your quality of life has changed.
It's a big deal. So we had top attorneys wanting to take on this case because they're like, this is a slam dunk, right? This chick, we can prove that she's got this, defect in her, and she can't have a baby, and the damages are a big deal. Like, this is an easy payday. And during that time, she had basically another C-section with no baby, where they like opened her up, sewed her back together properly, and that's when we had Colin. So during that time, the good attorneys left us. They're like, oh, well, your damages suck now. When you were infertile, you were a really good case, worthy of me, top attorney. Now that she's pregnant,
you got
what are we going after? Some pain and suffering?
Yeah.
Your kids are farther apart in age than you planned. Like, you need to get yourself a shitty attorney, because I don't take cases like this one.
You need to put that kid back in for a little bit longer.
Touche. Yeah. So anyway, like Harley was saying, of course, disrespect is going to say, yeah, I lost 80% of my income. You owe me $100 million or whatever fantastic amount that might be. But yeah, so it makes sense that he said that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it also makes sense that he didn't take me up on that boxing match.
That's why he dodged you.
And honestly, that's why I do the mustache. I swear it is actually inspired by him. I'm like, well, I'm taking this then. I don't want to hear shit about it.
And it's a real mustache.
Yeah. I think his is too now, though.
Not the way I say it.
I feel like it's interesting that you guys brought up the 3 different points about like being canceled. Like, you mentioned Andrew Tate as well as Kanye, H3, and in this case, Dr. Disrespect. And personally, Woody mentioned earlier, well, I was going to say that Woody mentioned, like, what makes things so different. And I mostly agree with Harley, not just I think it's the intention, man, is really what it boils down to, and what's really coming of it. Like, while I understand, yeah, you should be able to say things on the internet if they're crazy and don't make no fucking sense at all. When there's like actual people at risk is normally when people step in and they start saying, okay, we got to stop this. I don't know much about Andrew Tate, but I know that I was seeing a ton of reports that are not verified, that parents were hearing 12-year-olds calling women bitches and saying that you work for me and stuff like that. Like, that's shit that's impacting people's lives, at which point they have to consider that. Do I say it's right or wrong? Not necessarily, but
that's
I view that as different.
Problem, not an Andrew Tate problem.
It really, that's very much arguable, like, why does your kid have access to be able to consume this constantly?
Well, so how do you take it away from him, though, in the 21st century? Because
I fight back against the access thing. I'm sorry, Kyle, but I'm kind of agreeing with you. Yeah. You got to lock down kids really freaking tight if you want them not to see Instagram and TikTok.
They play on their phones, right?
How do you keep Google away from a kid?
Yeah,
but you have to have the lamest kid ever if your kid is not going to know what like double penetration looks like by the time they're 12.
It's the era we're in.
If they didn't go to rotten.com by 11 years old,
that's where we went.
See the
remember the cornucopia of penises? Like they were all like it was like 50 penises in it, all like edited together in a giant spiral on Rotten.
I don't think I got that one.
Harley said something about Andrew Tate that burned into my mind is kind of accurate. If Andrew Tate had been given a little more time, a little more rope, he would have hung himself for sure.
I said that about Kanye.
Yeah, maybe.
I actually think if he was given more time, I think Andrew Tate would be an even bigger deal.
I'm surprised he doesn't go with Andrew.
I see these really clever guys who seem like they're impervious. I see these really clever guys who seem like they're impervious to criticism. Like Joe Rogan is a good example of that. Like, how are they ever going to start knocking Joe Rogan? Well, then they do. Then they're like, him and his monkeys, and they find an angle to attack. Ben Shapiro is a really good speaker.
Ben Shapiro, Joe Rogan, those are like jokes. Just like H3 is up there. All these people get heat sometimes, but they're there and they're performing and they're consistent. They have different ideas, but
they're hard to knock over. But people are finding attack vectors on.
But it's not like Andrew Tate or Sneako or Kanye. And that is so funny that you're like, Andrew Tate, Sneako, Kanye. Kanye, you're over here. Sit over here in this part of the room with Andrew Tate and Sneako. This is where you sit now, Kanye.
What am I doing with Sneako?
You don't know Sneako?
I don't.
All knows he got canceled.
Sneako's like Andrew Tate came, and like Sneako was like the mini second coming almost. But
Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah, he flew too fast, too high, too far, and they clipped the wings right away. He also got banned, dude. Like he got hit with that. Like Twitch is like, you're banned on Twitch, and he's like, I don't have a Twitch account. They're like, well, you can't make one. You're banned. And like I also like I think like I saw Sneako like old videos, and he's just a content creator, and he made old like videos, and he was there. He's like, it looks like a 13-year-old boy, and like he's talking about like gender while playing Call of Duty. It's literally like, well, you were playing Call of Duty videos, this 13-year-old's playing Call of Duty videos, and he's like talking about gender. It was just such a crazy, I thought, a thing for such a young guy to be talking about, and it was really interesting. And he did make interesting content, and some of it was like fascinating, and he seemed like pretty smart, and he was young. Then the Andrew Tate stuff happened, and he like really took to that, like really serious. He's very like, they don't want to hear me talking the truth. And then it's like, you're in trouble, and it's like, oh, you don't like the truth? And it kind of like he went down this path. I'm really simplifying it. And they banned him. He was making videos with like
he's doing it wrong. What he needs to do is
exactly
pick out a half a dozen stats that support his cause, right? What's the average weight of a woman from this demographic? What is the average who's filing for divorces? And then just beat the drum on those 6 facts. And people make a whole damn career.
He also was beefing. He was beefing on all sides with people. He was beefing with too many people all at once, too many communities and stuff. Like even Brandon Buckingham, who's been on the podcast, he said that he said that
that's
he accused
Sneako.
that he's short. He said that Brandon short was a short R, and he was that's short R. Short R is the R word that I don't say. There's long R, which I'm comfortable saying, but the short R is the one that I actually don't say. I think it's triggering for people. But he used the short R.
I don't know either of these words, but I'm pretty sure the short R.
No, long R.
You make love to somebody without their consent when they don't want it.
You can almost make wine from it, is what I was trying to get out. That's the short R, right? Grapes?
Oh yeah, great. Yeah. So guys, sorry to everyone listening. I'm sorry. We're sorry Taylor's not here. Brandon, he Sneako said that about him, and Brandon kind of had like a whole thing, and like they like went to war. Well, Brandon did actually, Sneako never really provided any receipts for that, and I think Brandon took that pretty seriously. I don't know much about Brandon. I just watched him online over the last like 8 months, but it looked like he took that really seriously, and it was kind of ugly. But that's just an example of how Sneako was beefing from all sides, literally everywhere. They clipped his wings, and you know what? Like he kind of like you kind of fuck around and you find out on YouTube. You fuck around, you find out. You know when you're fucking around. I know when I'm fucking around. There's sometimes I say things here, and I'm like, I don't know if I should have said that. He pushed that, and he pushed it really hard, and then and he found out. Is that mental hospital stay true, by the way? Zach put that there because I always wondered. How do you know?
Sorry, yeah.
What I don't know the context, and I can see the chat. I'm sure the audience is lost. Who stayed in a mental hospital?
Sneako? Brandon uploaded a video from a mental hospital being like, I asked for a weighted blanket. They said they didn't have weighted blankets. Why would they lie to me? And so I broke into someone's room, and what did I find there? A weighted blanket. So why did they lie to me about it? And he's like in a hospital gown, and he's got like the bracelet, and he's in the hospital gown, and he's like in a mental hospital. Now people are like, yeah, mental, but and I'm so sorry, and I'm not going to discount it at all. I don't know anything. I really don't know. All I know is what people show me online. So I'm not saying anything. But I sat there, and he's training for a boxing match. So I'm like, Sam Hyde. It's a fake mental hospital stay because Brandon's going to be boxing Ice Poseidon. Are you guys not caught up on this? You know, Ice Poseidon is boxing like next month. You know how hyped I am that Ice Poseidon and Brandon Buckingham are boxing each other?
Ice Poseidon does the arm thing.
It was a setup.
If it's true, all I imagine then that Ice Poseidon, Keemstar and Fuzi are going to pull up to the hospital posing as Brandon's guardians, and they're going to take him out and bring him to fight Ice Poseidon. And they're not the main event. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, that's the main event shit right there. I told Ice Poseidon to come stay at my house and train with me because I heard Brandon was training with Sam. So I called up Ice.
Circle.
Yeah, I called up Ice Poseidon. I was like, yo, Brandon's training with Sam. It'd be so funny. It'll be like anime vibes. Why don't you come train with me? I know his secrets. I know what he's going to do to Brandon. Brandon will fuck you up. You should come train with me. And Ice Poseidon's like, okay. And I'm like, okay, so come and you can stay at my place. And I was gonna train with him, and I have a coach here as well, and we were gonna go. I was gonna drive him to the gym, and it was gonna be so funny and crazy. Ice Poseidon's in my fucking basement. Ice Poseidon shows up to train with me. Stays in my downstairs room. Okay. The first night he comes in at night, I'm like, here's your room. Oh, yeah, he's tired. He goes to bed. I'm like, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll go training. I wake up tomorrow morning to go training. He's gone. His boxing equipment is gone. He comes back at 11 p.m. I don't know where he was. I don't know what training he did. It's going to sound like weird. I swear he looked stronger. And every single day that he was here, he left before I woke up and he came home around bedtime and he looked stronger.
What?
It was working.
It's just, and I'm just like, what could I say? What could I say about this? This is Ice Poseidon. Like, I've seen this before. I've seen all the shows. Like, I'm going to tell him. What am I going to tell him? What am I going to say to him? So he used this place. I didn't get to train with him. I have no idea how he fights. But if you're telling me like Brandon was like training with Sam, he's been through a lot of like mental turmoil. This sounds like a very fascinating boxing match to me. Big time. And I think I'm going to go to Austin to watch it. I think I'm going to do it. And I was going to be on this card. This is one of the cards I got offered $150K to be on.